Hello there.
Move!
How low can you get?
But greater than death's bitter scheme, the claws and stinging pain.
Any that come, we kill. Keep it simple.
Stupid. Hello everyone, this is Kasumi and we are playing music.
Right position, Gareth.
Yay! That's how bands in Egypt looked. The dress style is just insane. Why? It's actual historical style they wore. Why? Why would anyone make the dress stop just right below the boobs? It makes no sense. Like, I get them being casually topless and having skirts, but dress that just uncovers the boobies is something just crazy enough for people who worshipped gods with crocodile heads, I think. Alright. So we are going to fight against the head priest. We have very good equipment. We got legendary bows and fire attributes, an upgraded DLC blade, and non-DLC secret spear. I have stuff I can upgrade, but I'm waiting to probably upgrade melee damage. One of the coolest features in this game is this, though I haven't seen a single place where I can successfully use it. But hiding in the hay of a moving cart is just what we've seen so many times in movies. I really think they should make Assassin's Creed based... We're moving the right direction, so... they should make one based on...
Ready. You're not the great...
Hang on! Die! Die!
Based on the time around Edwardian period, maybe the First World War and the so-called Russian Civil War and the so-called October Revolution. Why so-called? Because Russian Civil War had countries like Finland, Poland and Ukraine fighting for independence. Finland wasn't really fighting, they just got independent. Because Russians got stuck in Poland, they had a major loss there. The Reds, rather, not all Russians. And the Whites were fighting Germany still. Ukraine was making a separate peace with Germany. The reason I think that that period is great is because Second World War is absolutely overused. The First World War is not. That's the first. Secondly, it still doesn't have a widespread use of automatic weapons outside of machine gun nests. So it fits with assassins and like pike and musket troops we had before. It still had use of bayonets, but it also had exotic weapons like flamethrowers used. Don't you step on the boobies. Guys, you do not step on boobies. Do not slap boobies. It's painful.
The main temple of Sobek. Sehetep is inside. You will be well guarded. Clear the way!
Wait a minute. Archon ist hurt. Come to
See, very easy to get resources. Like, I want,
You there! Stop!
or what?
Hey! Mine!
Clothesline! In the takedown! No! You won't punch me! That's my favorite animation in this game. Fireman scary! Toss! And another one! He lifts him up! Airplane spin! F5! Right into the steel steps! Marble steps.
Hey!
The end has come for you.
And the combat standards track. And yeah, and the so-called October Revolution is so-called because, firstly, it takes place in November. Russia just had an outdated calendar. They still celebrate the October Revolution Day
Infidel!
on
By
7th
what right do you touch me?
of
I am
November.
Sobek's chosen vessel, his right hand. Who are you?
You are nothing but a murderer, and I am the hand of justice.
Sniper! Come here!
It is done. Faith turns to treachery far too often, it seems. I should meet Badiaset.
Oh no! He put him right into the burning fire! What will he do next? A catapult? Oh no!
Halt! Stay there! What have we here?
A running clothesline!
I'll kill you.
Lariat! Furthermore, the October Revolution wasn't a revolution, it was a coup d'etat. They just overthrew the democratically elected government and served the Socialist Revolutionaries Party, actual political party in Russia that won the elections after the Tsar was deposed, the Emperor rather. But the Bolsheviks, who lost the elections, were not happy about that. They said that the socialist revolutionaries are not real socialists, what you often hear or see in any communist or socialist far-left group. They always claim the others are not real ones, and are traitors to the cause. In reality, they're just all
Do you
deluded.
think the Magi will succeed?
Yes, he is a straight.
Go out! Damn you! Oh, shit!
He's bad too. So, and
Yes,
the Bolsheviks didn't like
He is a stranger, yet Sobek guides him.
the
When this is over, Sehetep's priests will seek forgiveness. Be stern, but treat them fairly. None of us is beyond temptation.
Nah, he is a good guy.
Yes, Ham. Do as Sobek.
Jahye! No one how yes.
Sehetep chose death.
Then it had to be. I lost a brother today. If I had acted sooner, he might have been restored. Faith cannot be passive. This is my lesson. We will rebuild what has been damaged. But what of the soldiers? They had a hand in all this.
They will always meddle. But stay strong. They know now not to mess with the temple. Sobek has warriors too.
Don't mess with the
You
Sobek.
honor me, Magi. May Sobek honor you.
The bad religion. And Staff of Sehetep, a unique scepter. And I will probably use it. It's been a while since I got a decent scepter. What I was talking about. Question mark is probably some trireme. We finished all the quests that are under level 35. I'm level 36, so I can actually finish the Fires of Dionysius. Yeah, how people manipulate history, which is like the cause of this game. This game has it's all about Templars manipulating history for their own gains. In real life, of course, we don't have... Well, we had the Templars. They were not the Ancient Order, but just a bunch of Knights of the Temple of Solomon. But the game raises... While the plot of the game is fictional, it raises questions that are related to the real world. And how the history gets changed. They had Lenin be either assassin or Templar, I don't remember at this point. Assassin's Creed 2 is really like into... Okay, it wasn't a trireme, it was a buried treasure. And nowadays you see politicians really trying to do that. Lionel Carusei. We need to go to face the crocodile jaws. Miss Veronique. She stays at the villa at night while living in Kerkesoucha, which is our next destination. A silent but deadly assassin, Bayek of Siwa, the last of the Magi, goes to avenge his family and the family of his friends. The interracial couple of what are their names? The Roman guy and his Egyptian wife. Notice how, like, racism in its modern sense, it did not exist until, like, very recently. because people had because the differences in culture, religion, what gods they worship was far more important. And I'm not saying that discriminating because of that was good. What I mean that basically where people had no where people had their previous reasons for bigotry extinguished, they had to make new ones. They started making insane racial theories, which are based on Asian caste systems. Specifically, would have the natives perverted the
crocodile must be inside.
the caste system they had in India, which was bad on its own, but it was getting phased out for most part when the British colonizers came. And after colonizing India, they resurrected the caste system, making basically enforcing it because it was easier to control. The skin color was a part of the caste system, and of course it was easy for pale English to put their up as one of the top castes, including the Aryans and stuff. A lot of Asian countries still have big discrimination based on skin color, which is not, you can't really call it racist because they're not just same race, they're literally same ethnicity. It's literally just discrimination based on who's lighter and who's darker. It's especially developed in like socialist countries like Cuba, contrary to what socialists claim about social equality. Cubans had a very rigid caste system where being a few tones of skin darker makes you like basically a subhuman.
You will pay, corpse!
And countries like Indonesia have very rigid beliefs about someone being lighter or darker. I was really surprised by that. I thought there's a country where people have naturally dark skin would not discriminate based on that, but it's the other way around. So all these caste systems, while they existed before,
Hey, wait!
certain versions are obviously a modern invention. And reason like I'm bringing this all up here is because, well, have you seen Indiana Jones? That's the most Assassin's Creed like game, and it's about basically Nazi German archaeologists searching for artifacts to give them the ultimate power. There are a lot of legends based on that. They were not all like crazy and just searching for the God Spike or the Ark of the Covenant, but there were many movements about that, and it wasn't as much a search for super weapons as for the justification of like hate crimes. When people have nothing to eat, they are far more likely to cling to their perceived sense of superiority. We've seen that in Germany, we see that now in Russia. There's Russian neo-Nazi philosophy is very similar to German one, because they're both are used by the government. Not the modern German government, but the modern Russian government, which talk about ancient Russians, kind of like Aryan superhumans who like invented writing and gave culture to the uncultured swine of non-Russians, seriously, which makes very little sense because Russia is a very modern country in historical terms. It's kind of like USA, where a bunch of different ethnicities were merged into one macro nation, and four treasures. Four.
Hey, worms can have you.
This doesn't look like an assassination. There's one more captain. Oh, captain, my captain.
Time is up.
Oh, yeah, I looted him on melee kill, of course.
Are you enjoying your new station, my champion?
Yes, my lady. It is everything I hoped it would be.
Oh my god.
You will want for nothing as long as you stay by my side.
That's her job.
As long as you are loyal. As long as...